This is day 7 of the Yerushalmi Yomi. In order to start this, the Yerushalmi right for today, we have to go back a few words. It's about Ganim of Vav on base. It says there, Maya Davidos, what David do at Chatzos? Hashem Elazar Menachem says, he would take the harp and a navel, some other instrument, I think it's a wind instrument of some sort, and the harp, and put it by his head. For maybe would rise up in the middle of the night, Menachem Bohem, and he would play these instruments. It's interesting lashon. I don't think it appears anywhere else in the Bible. Yerushalmi, Chavrei Torah, obviously other Talmidei Chachamim. So they're here to David playing, and here, interestingly enough, he's not playing in the context of saying Tehillim, but he's playing in the context of learning Torah. Umayu Chavrei Torah. What does Chavrei Torah say? Umayim David Melch Oisik B'Torah. If David Melch is getting up and rising and involved in Torah, Analagas Kama V'Kama. How much more so should the rest of us who don't have the distractions of being kings? This is in the Bible too. There was a harp hanging opposite David's windows. The north wind would blow in the middle of the night. Vibrate the harp, and it would make music on its own. Is that which it says? That's that which it says. When the instrument played, Kinagain Bamnagain, and because it doesn't say when someone played the instrument or with the instrument, El Kimnagain Hamnagain. When the Minagain itself that would play, when the music instrument itself, Hakinor, Haya Minagain May A Love. The harp would go on its own when that wind would blow. Mamakaim Rebbe, time of the Rabbi Nosson. So we had said previously that Rabbi Nosson says Shalosh Hashmoros, there are 3 Hashmoros in the night, and Rebbe said there are 4 Hashmoros in the night, and we said that Rabbi Nosson had given a reason for this, a pasuk for this. Actually, both Rebbe and Rabbi Nosson gave him psukim for this, and now we're going. So now the Gemara asks, Mamakaim Rebbe, time of Rabbi Nosson, Rosh Hashmar Tichena. The pasuk Nosson brought down. It says that there was beginning of the middle mishmar. In the middle mishmar sounds like there are 3 mishmars, and Rebbe said there are 4 mishmars. So what does he do with that? What does he do with that pasuk? So Rav Huna Sofa Shel Shnia V'Rosha Shel Shlishis Hein Metachnos Es Halayla. On the side there's another girsa here, and the Shnia Schos Metavchos Es Halayla. So it's the same principle. In other words, there is the end of the end of the second mishmar, the beginning of the third mishmar. They are they center the night, and since they center the night, so therefore they're called the Ashmaros Tichona. Even though there are 4 mishmaros, but there is a way of dividing it, in which you get a Tichona, meaning the end of the second and the beginning. So long as Raimanan attacks this, he said it's beat me up. It's an astonishment what he says. Rabbi Meir Yos. Is that good? Does that make sense? If you're saying that you take half of one and half of the other, and they block off time in the middle, so it should say tichonos, the middle parts, part of one and part of the other. It doesn't say that. It says lo tichona. It says that it just says tichona, the middle one. So it's a raya that there are 3 mishmaros, not 4. Again, we're to say that it was be talking about Sofa Shoshnia and Rosh Shlishis, and it should say Rosh Hashmaros Hatichones, Rosh Hashmaros Hatichones. But since it doesn't say that, and then it would mean actually, Rosh Hashmaros probably mean the pinnacle of the 2 Hashmaros, and it would be in the middle. But it doesn't say it says Tichonim, singular, so therefore it's only 1 mishmar in the middle, so it's only 3. So the Gra puts in the word Ella here. Ella karmesulam is chashva. First Mishmar doesn't count. Why? Darkutum b'yasa erin. During the first Mishmar, people are still awake. So there is there are three Mishmaros besides the first, according to Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, according to Rabbi. There's 1 plus 3. And the first is not called a Mishmar because from 6 to 10, people are still awake. Not people are still awake. It's not considered to be a Mishmar. So really, even though the 4 Mishmaros, the first one doesn't require that much safeguarding. So therefore, when we think about Tichayno, we mean the middle one of the last 3, not including the first one. Because again, people are still awake during the time, so it doesn't really require shmicha. Rabbi Yasim Shem Rabbi Yechon halacha kechachamim. The halacha is like chachamim, which means that, of course, going back to our Mishnah, that Kriya Shema is preferably at least till chatzos, right? I'm sorry, I skipped the beginning. Piska, right? Chachamim chatzos. The Piska is a quote from our Mishnah, obviously. Rabbi Yasa directed the Chavraya. The Chavraya they're called frequently the Chavrei Torah. It's a description I had before. That's not so frequent, but because the Chavraya means Talmidei Chachamim. In Bisu Misaska Baraisa, if we want to learn Torah at night, which of course everybody should do. Atun kari shma kodem chatzos, read shma before chatzos, umis asking and then learn Torah. In other words, make sure not to push off till the end of your seder davening because then it's going to be after chatzos. Mil samra, the words of Rabbi Yassid indicate shalocha kechachamim. The halacha is like chachamim, obviously, because he said first take care of shma so you don't go over chatzos. Milsa amara, amar dvarim achar emes v'yatziv. And also teaches us that he said stuff after emes v'yatziv. And the Radah explains very interestingly. He says, I might have thought the Shema in Mariv is like Kriya Shema Amita. And after Birkos Kriya Shema, you can't learn anymore. You have to go right to sleep. Radah says, this is considered patient. Mutar daber achar Kriya Shema. You're allowed to talk after you read Shema. Ain't tzarech lishka go shinsa achar Kriya Shema birkoseh. He doesn't have to immediately go try and go to sleep after after he read Shema. So another interesting thing is that you have here, of course, obviously it says emes v'yatsim instead of emes v'emunah, which is what we say at night. So obviously they had a different version than us if they said emes v'yatsim at night. Tani akrei shema bebeis hakneses b'shachar yotzei dechavasa. Now, somebody who says shema in the morning in the shul is yotzei skiv. It's the proper time. But erev lo yotzei dechavasa. At night with the shema, he says in shul, you're not yotzei your obligation. Why not? Ma ben akrei b'shachris, ma ben akrei b'arvis. So it's interesting. Somebody who reads during reads shema during shachris and reads shema during arvis. V'una b'shem Rabbi Yosef matam. And here it's interesting because that's not looking for a pasuk, but rather for actual reasons. So see matam or mataimo serves both purposes in the Yerushalmi. Matam amru adam matam amru adam tzarich likro shma bebeiso be'ereb v'shvil lavriach es hamazikin. So we have to say shema at night in your house in order to deflect, to cause the mazikin, the whoever they are, whatever they are, to go away, to flee from you. Milsamra. So according to this, it comes out she'enu midvarim achar emes v'yatziv. Right. So the way he's learning it again, you would say Shema and Birkos Kriya Shema after not in shul, but rather you'd say when you get at home in Kriya Shema alamita. Which is obviously meaning you will not be samekul tefillah. You would be saying Shema much later after you daven in shul. Milsidar Shmuel Nachmani Amar Kain. Shmuel Nachmani seems to say something similar. could have Shmuel Bar Khmeini could have a nachis liibura when Shmuel Bar Khmeini would go down for Ibur Shana. In other words, to discuss whether to add a month onto the year or not. Have a Makaba Gabe Rabbi Yaakov Grusa. He was hosted by Rabbi Yaakov Grusa, Rabbi Yaakov the Miller. Rabbi Zira Metamer Ben Kupaya, and Rabbi Zira would hide among the barrels in the storeroom, I assume. Mishmana Hech Kari Shma, to hear how he would read Shma. Vave Kari v'chazar v'kari adu shoka minei go shenase. He would keep reading Shema over and over again until he fell asleep. Umay taima, why is that? So Rabbi Yaakov, but Techlifta, Chamui b'shem Rabbi Yaakov, Rabbi Techlifta Chamui, Rabbi Yaakov, Rabbi Techlifta, his father-in-law, b'shem Yeshua bar Nachman, Rigs about Tachtum Ruvu Bavchem Adomu Sela. There's in order to avoid the Tzara, the Mazikim coming and disturbing your sleep. So then Rigzu, arouse yourself by saying Shema over and over again, and then you won't sin and you'll be silent, you'll be tranquil on your bed. Mr. Bishub and Levi pliga, where the words of Bishub and Levi argue. So the Radah here says that Perish Rabbi Shimon Polik Ahad Avshikora Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Shimon Levi Krish Magdei Abriach Min Azikim Mikomakom Karmiz Morim B'Torah V'Yivsi Ben Kriya Shema L'Shena. Even though he would say Kriya Shema Mita, he would interrupt afterwards and learn Torah. A big example here for the Bavli, where Amishub Levi Abishkor Dom Kriya Shema Basic Nesses Mitzvah L'Krosa Mitoso. He does hold the mitzvah to read it on his when he goes to Krishma says Krishma Mita, but evidently that he was allowed to learn afterwards. That's because he says here, Shimon Levi Kari Mizmorim Basra. He would read Mizmorim after he finished Krishma Mita. V'atani Einom Edvarim Achar Emes V'Yatziv. Hi, it says you're not allowed to say anything after Emes V'Yatziv. So how is he able to talk after Kriya Shema Alamita? Again, we're assuming that Kriya Shema here was the second. The Shema one says when it goes to bed. So he understands it to mean that the Emes V'Yatziv Shel Shachris, you're not allowed to add anything because you have to be some Gula Tefillah. So you can't add anything in that area. You have to immediately go directly into Shemona Esrei once you finish Gula. And this is what it says, the Mara B'Zir B'Shem Rabbi Abba, by Yirmiyah, Sholosh Tekifosem. There's three things which have to be Techef, immediate. Techef L'Smicha Shchita, immediately after you smicha and then have a carbon, you have to shecht it. Techef M'til Sidayim Bracha, immediately after you wash your hands, make the bracha. Techef L'Geula, Tefillah. Immediately after you say the Gula, you have to go to Tefillah. Now the Gemara is going to give this the sources for this. But we've already reached the top of Ches Amar Aleph, so therefore we will stop here for today. I want to assure the listeners who've gotten so far with us that although Brachos is quite simple, Yerushalmi is not difficult, but it won't go as quickly as we go in Brachos.